Well, it's a few days after Jared killed his bull. To be honest, I was going to stay up a couple days, but I do something I kind of preach against, and that's just kind of, I can't say I quit. We just packed out an elk. I just wanted to continue to hunt while it was good. The next day and the next day, well, we didn't get into camp until, I don't remember, 11 o'clock or so. By the time we winded down, got everything ready, it was after midnight. If you want to, continue to hear my excuses, I just figured. My pack's in shambles. I would like to wash it. And of course, I have a newborn at home and a wife that I miss. So knowing I'm not cutting necessarily a hunt short, I'm just switching around days. I headed home, gave them a kiss, loved on them. I don't think that's a terrible thing to do. And got everything re-ready again. Got ice, got things bought, etc. So anyway, it's September 12th. Jared killed his bull on September 9th. And I'm here a little later than I wanted to be, because on my way up, I passed a lady on the road, walking on the road, and she said she had 6 miles left to her vehicle. Her four-wheeler broke down. So I gave her a ride, and I'm still in plenty of time. It's, I think, right at 5 o'clock right now. So I got most of my stuff ready. I'm eating a quick sandwich, and I'll be on a ridge top here shortly. Impressive. The evening hunt started off extremely quickly. After parking the side-by-side, I walked up the mountain about 200 yards and let out a bugle with the wind right. There was no response, and so after about 4 more steps, a bull erupted from his bed, taking me by complete surprise. He went up and over the ridge, and so I followed. When I got to the top of the ridge, I bugled and was met by no less than 3 bulls in the drainage over. From this point on, I did nothing but confuse myself. I walked in circles. I crossed that drainage first and then realized that the most active bull was back where I just came from. I thought he was across, but it turns out he was just right below me. So after a bunch of circles, screwing with the other bulls, I ended up basically right where I started the evening and was able to call that bull in close. He stuck his shoulder out and gave me a perfect broadside shot that I didn't take. Probably dinner tonight, some oranges and an RX bar. Riddle me this. This year I've went out of my way to get, I didn't bring chips, I brought banana chips. For snacks I have oranges, those banana chips, good granola bars, jerky, meat sticks, stuff like that. Good lunches, good dinners, didn't get desserts. And let's see, like an easy day is 6 miles, With Jared, we did 11 point something with his bull, packing it out with heavy weight, sweating a bunch, get home, and I weigh more than when I got here. I know muscle weighs more than fat, but I've been hiking all summer long, to get to this point. And still a fat bastard. So, I don't know. Just button heads with genetics, I guess. Oh, that is always so much brighter than you think it's gonna be. God dang. This morning is September 13th. And can't say the bulls are on fire, but they were squealing pretty good last night. Feels like it changed. Feels like those satellite bulls got their asses kicked, you know, and they want to bugle, but they don't want to get their asses kicked again. And then that 5-point I got on last night was all by himself. So anyway, that's enough rambling just in case these elk can hear me, which I'm sure they're not far from. So I'm gonna try and walk up to this high point without a headlamp. It is darker than hell. It is frickin' slap ass dark out here. Just a sliver of a moon. So pure darkness, still just like an eerie morning, you know. But all right. September 13th was about the slowest morning I could have had while still calling in a bull. While I was talking to the camera in the dark, I could hear a bull bugling above me, and I promptly walked up the mountain and called him in. The problem was he was another 5-point. And actually, I think he was the same 5-point I'd called in about a week earlier and already passed up. So I passed him up again, and it was an awesome encounter full of bugling. And when I looked at the GoPro, well, it wasn't on. At this point, I think you're probably getting used to that. I hope. How do you guys like the up the nose view? Good. All right. Nothing. Not jack shit. All right. September 14th. Things are looking promising. I'm at least going to be able to play the game, it seems. Star behind me freaked me out. Got a big old growler bull in here. I was walking down the hill. He's bugling every 15 seconds. I thought I'd passed him, but looked at the map here in the dark, and he's kind of where I'm headed. He's a little to the right, but he's not going to be right on the trail, you know. So anyway, keep picking our way up here. I don't want to go too far with the headlamps, but I want to be right there, ready to strike. So cold down on the bottom. Can see my breath. Doubt you can on here. I have no idea. But bottoms are real chilly. Frost. So bulls screaming. You just wait for it all year. It's just one of them mornings, perfectly clear, calm, cold. Growlers. Man. All right. Test. What the? Test. Fucking electronics, I'm telling you. It's a phenomenal morning. There's elk freaking everywhere, but I've chased this growling bugle for miles now. Every time I'm somewhat close, I was close to him in the dark. Now I'm close to him after shooting. I mean, it's just, he's 600 yards ahead of me all the time. I called in one other smaller bull kind of on accident. I tried to locate this bull. Another bull bugled back. I got the big one to bugle back, so off I went. And I guess that bull was coming in because I blew him. He bugled from like 300 yards. We got frickin' bulls bugling everywhere. It's a great morning, but I flat out can't catch this big growler. I've went miles. I've doubled back basically where I came in this morning, went down a ridge I didn't plan on. So gonna, just as bad as it is, just kind of forget him and go with where the nucleus all these other bulls are bugling at. So I don't know. It's time for a little bit of a reset here. And I haven't taken a mountain nap like that in a long time. Yeah, see? Cue that, what is it, that little Step Brothers dude face meme thing. I didn't do a very good job of listening, and I can't really glass from here, but an elk could have bugled 200 yards from me, and I don't think I would have heard him, so. It's getting close to 2 o'clock. So I'm going to eat most of what's in my pack and do a better job of listening. But I remember during my snooze that I didn't have my Jetboil for my peak refuel this afternoon, which was the plan to have at 3 o'clock or so, just like I did with Jared. I always forget something. I remembered a spoon this time, but no Jetboil. So that's kind of on accident, but my water's hanging out in the sun, and maybe that'll be good enough. We'll see how it does without hot water, I guess. If it's terrible, we won't eat it, but all right, continue on back here. All right, we got some clouds rolling in here a little bit. We'll come get our boiled water. My wife tells me there's some kind of risk with this, cancer risk or something, with drinking bottled water that's been out in the sun, but desperate times. Now if this spills, will be the real tragedy. Get this all one-handed here. So I stirred this a few minutes ago. It doesn't look as bad as I thought. Maybe I'll give you guys a look, but it's too hard to do one-handed. The bad part is, chicken Alfredo sucks cold, no matter where you get it from. So, you know, it's probably not Peak Refuel's fault. Anyway. Noodles are still a little crunchy as we thought they'd be, but all in all, pretty salvageable, really. Just barely a little crunch to them. Not gonna break your teeth or nothing, but. so far back in here, I don't even want to pack out a grouse if I don't have to. The safest chicken on earth right there. Morning of September 15th. Halfway through September already. Hard to believe. You might be able to still hear a groan of I think it's a side-by-side. It's always funny to me. Hunting by the roads, you've got the before daylight guys. That's me. Very rarely are people up before me. I like to get up too early if I have the option, which I guess I always have the option, but get up too early, make coffee, see what other people are doing. But this morning, my body said take it a little easy this morning. My mind said I want to go further again, do an all-day trip, but people are piling in here for the weekend. It's a Friday. Yesterday had a lot of people, and I just didn't do a proper job of scouting people yesterday with an all-day trip. So I found in my limited scouting what seems to be scouting people, that is. It's important, sadly. I found what appeared to be a little hole in the pressure. I hope to take advantage of it. And while I was walking in, right before that side-by-side popped up, I heard a bull bugle down here. Didn't have that good baritone at the end, but it was a bull. So we're about 15-20 minutes before legal shooting light right now, and mostly just gonna creep down this road. Also, if you're wondering how things are going, it's a good thing I have the old Shetnex edition backup bugle tube, because I have no idea where my new unrivaled version 2 went. It's either where I parked last night or at camp somewhere. So, lost a bugle tube, battling people, hearing bulls bugle. You gotta love it. Well, those that have been subscribed for a while are probably going to kill me over this. But I just hope that everybody understands just how hard this stuff is to self-film and also be in the moment hunting elk and trying to do all the things you need to do and get in position to actually be able to kill one. And so on this morning, I'm kind of just 2 steps behind a bull all morning long, and it doesn't come through in the footage that well because I never get to see an elk. I'll call with the camera on, and the bull doesn't bugle, and then when he does, he's 400 yards away. The typical game of cat and mouse where he doesn't want to come in. And so I'll hurry and cut the distance. I'll get where I think I'm in the game, and I'll do some more calling, and he doesn't do anything, and then again he's 300 yards away, and it's just this constant game. And so I chased this bull so far around 2 different mountains, up and down ridges, that I actually end up basically right by the road, and I lose contact with the bull. And so I can't say I'm frustrated. I try really hard not to be frustrated hunting elk, and I don't think I am very often. It's just one of those things where, I'm thinking, oh well, it's not going to happen again today, and I'm right by the road, and let's head back to camp and eat a solid lunch and regroup. And so I ripped the GoPro off my head, and I put the camera that's in the way, that's always hanging off my shoulder, and I put it in my backpack as I shed a layer to just kind of get in mission mode and head back to the truck. And well, I end up getting into a rut fest unexpectedly, and I have no footage of it. And to make matters worse, some of the audio on my phone when I pulled it out is complete garbage. I'll let you listen to it right here. Yeah, that's really how it sounded. I could not believe when I listened to all this over that even me trying to salvage some of it could be so poor of quality. And really, I'm pretty bummed out about it at this point. At the end of the day, I get this awesome encounter and I can put that in the memory bank, but I also shoot an elk at what ended up being like 6.5 yards or something like that. And the footage that could have been from that would have just been, breathtaking. And I've carried all these cameras around for half of a month. And, finally when I get that opportunity, it just unravels. And so again, I apologize, but that's just the way it was meant to be, I guess. The camera jinx. As soon as you get the cameras out, things will go your way. You hit record and seemingly nothing ever does. To switch gears and just kind of go through what actually happened here, as I hear these two bulls start bugling and I run back up the mountain that I just dropped off of and end up getting almost between them. And the biggest of the two picks a trail and comes past me at 6.5 yards or something like that, and I put an arrow through him, and the bull, takes a few quick steps, not having any idea what just happened, stops and looks back at me as I cow call, and really his ears are still moving. He looks not sick. He looks alive and well, and I just stand there. I didn't want to push trying to get a second arrow in him and make a bunch of movement and noise and have him run off when he looked so healthy, and then I watched him just walk off like nothing was wrong. And so I end up giving this bull an hour and then take up the trail, and it's slow going, and I think you can kind of get the gist of the rest of it from here.
It only took 7 minutes. Gotta build a bigger house, or a better house, I guess. I don't know, pretty shitty house, but it worked to pass the time at least a little bit. Alright. Well, I've gathered all my things up. I guess, where are my things? There they are. Man, I'm so jacked. But I'm just bummed that I didn't go the extra mile and get that on film. I'm just bummed that out of however many days I've hunted in September, that's the time I didn't. I mean, I've had that frickin' stupid ass looking GoPro strapped to me from daylight to dark for days. But anyway, golly. Like if I would have shot that bullet at 40 yards and he had crashed off and I'd seen that arrow, I'd been over the moon excited. But then he went down there and he stood down there for a while and he didn't cough. I almost thought I could hear, like, blood pouring out. But I might be full of shit and might have been wishful thinking, but... Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a long hour. I'm 15 minutes in. I'm gonna sit my happy ass right here. Drink some water, have a granola bar. I'm not even gonna text my wife. I love to do that. But if that bull's just down there trying to die 50 yards or whatever, I don't want the inReach or anything going off. My wind's swirling and here's enough to make me nervous, so. Oh, God, I hope it's right. Sorry, this is me venting to the camera or talking out loud, and you guys probably happen to be watching this later, but 6 frickin' yards, how do you screw it up? But I do know at one point I was so jazzed, like I wasn't looking through the peep. I was just wide-eyed as he's coming in, trying to figure out what the hell, where to aim. And I remember going, oh, you're not in the peep, and I put my face in the peep. And I swear, I almost shot him with his leg back, and I waited for him to get broadside to me right here. And here's broadside. And his leg forward. I didn't try and stop him. And I touched it off, but I remember seeing the f***ing hole. And I thought he was going to tip over right there, but maybe it's just a hair back and it got one long, or maybe it got both and it just took him a second. But not hearing any groaning or any coughing or anything has me nervous. So I'm going to continue to sit here, but I'm going to vent just to myself in my own mind. Not bring you guys along, I guess. So see you in 45 minutes to an hour. All right, we've sat here and twiddled our thumbs. Too nervous to eat, but got down a bottle of water. 10:47, so we are 1 hour and 2 minutes past when I let the arrow fly. So this camera's going away. I'll don the GoPro right off the bat here. I don't know if this elk went this way and around this log and down there, or right over it right here, but we'll decode it the best we can. Wish me luck. Alright, I know the GoPro won't pick this up, but our first blood right here goes across the log there. Through there somewhere. But right off the bat, not super easy. Somewhere down here is where he stopped, so that should give us a good indication. Oh man, I hate this not sure feeling. Well, it's a good damn thing we waited the allotted hour. He's just groaning down there right now, an hour and 10 minutes after I arrowed him. He's down there. Whoa. I can't believe it took him that long to go. Wow, he's still probably not dead. Crazy, man. That's my lesson for sure. That's definitely my lesson. Just give them the damn hour. If they were dead in 10 minutes, they'll be dead in an hour. Well, I'm going to stand here another 5. I don't think you guys could hear that last one. Oh, man. I got him. I just got to find him. Well, not much to report. We're over an hour and a half after starting the blood trail and being positive. Heard him groaning and can't even really get started on the blood trail. I've went where I thought I heard him. I've gridded that out and nothing. So I've got, I don't know, 8 specks of blood right here where he crossed one log. I think this is where he turned and looked at me. And then I know he went that way. But I've went that way on every trail I can. No bull, no blood. He's done something in here just a little goofy and I can't get out of it. So I'm going to try and hands and knees this blood again and see if I get any further. 1.77 miles into my tracking job. He didn't go anywhere. And I knew I heard him groaning. And I found him. A couple hours later, I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to celebrate, I guess. Man, what a cool looking bull. It's a 4-point bull. Oh, man. Well, there he is. I was gridding in here and thought maybe, so I started, I don't know if you can tell, on that canyon right there. I've gridded all that over and over and over and over and over again. And I finally went, well, maybe he made it on the other side, but he had to be pretty low. And yeah, it's not a great shot, but man, I'm just in disbelief. Cool looking bull. Stiff. That's the exit side. So he was quartered to me just a touch, and always wait the hour.
Every time, wait the hour. Oh, thank you, Mr. Bull. Sorry to be so long-winded. I was just talking to myself up there, saying how sorry I was to this bull that I didn't put a good shot on him at such close range. And I guess I still didn't, but we'll see where that entrance is, and he just didn't. I don't even know how he got here. All right, I'm just gonna shut up. That was the emotional roller coaster of elk hunting right there. If I would have got on his blood within the hour, I mean, I heard him groaning over here an hour and I don't know what it was, 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes after arrowing him. And then I started to, overthink that and just think that maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe, I didn't hear him. Maybe that was something else. Maybe that was a cow. Maybe that was a person. Maybe it sounded like a moose. Maybe it was a moose. But I can't waste a whole much more time, so I'm going to go grab my stuff, get a couple pictures with this guy, and start cutting them up so I can salvage all this. Hottest part of the day. Flies, as you can tell, are already all over him, so we'll be quick and do what we can here. Well, here he is, all his glory. He's a cool, won't say little, cool medium-sized bull. Just a 4-point, had no idea, thought he was a good 5-point with big whale tails, but that really doesn't matter to me. You can probably hear the flies. Just ran back to grab my stuff and taking time to get this video and a few pictures, and then that's it. I'm gonna get to work, but you can see the shot. I think it's back. It's 10 inches back from the crease, and really I like it even more in there, and I guess that's just the biggest lesson. It's a lesson I already know. It's what hunting is to a point, is excitement, but you can practice all year long at 70, 80, 90 yards all summer, and it comes down to a 6.5 yard shot and making it work. And I barely did. Like I said it to the phone. Who knows what I'll use, but I was saying my apologies to this bull that I couldn't find him. I'm as proud of this track job as any of them I've ever had. He bled. The initial point, I kept saying, all right, I'm going to go back and just hands and knees him and figure something out. And that's easy to say and really tough to do, because it wasn't possible. There was no more blood. I kept looking on hands and knees, and there was none to be found. I went by tracks, and I did it right. I just didn't think this bull had enough in him to make it up this hill, even just a little ways. But I just kept going back to, I heard him groan. I know I heard him groan. I've heard that multiple times. And if he's not right here where I've gridded 100 times, he had to have made it across the drainage, and he's not. Probably 20 feet of elevation on the other side, but bedded right here. There's no blood all the way coming in here. There's no blood crossing the stream. There's a big white log back there that he crossed. No blood that I looked at multiple times, thinking this has to be his tracks. Maybe it's not. Maybe he did something goofy. I don't know. But anyway, rambling a little long. Here he is. What a beauty. And just a cool looking bull. But time to take a couple pics and get to work. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sure there'll be some pack out footage after this. All done. Got the meat stashed at the closest road, and now I'm walking with no backpack on, which feels so nice, to go get side by side. Oh, see you later. I survived another one. Who knew?